Wimbledon starts tomorrow, and we are here to give our draw preview for the men's. We have Sinner and Alcaraz on one side, Djokovic coming back from injury on the other. Is it going to be one of them? Is it going to be someone else altogether? This is our thoughts on the draw preview.
That's right, it's the big one. It is Wimbledon in London, where we're based, and let's get into this draw preview. Djokovic, like you said, coming back from an injury, and he hasn't made a final all of this year. And will this be the one where he finally can push on, or is it going to be more disappointment for the Djokovic fans out there all around the world? Jannik Sinner, the big favourite. Carlos Alcaraz, the reigning champion, or is there going to be a new name on this trophy coming from the Djokovic side of the draw? We're going to be discussing all of it on this one. But, JG, it is our tournament. We're in London. How are you feeling? Are you excited for this one?
Yeah, I think the men's certainly isn't as open as the women's. I feel the winner probably will come from a Jannik Sinner or Alcaraz. I'm just going through the bookmakers' odds now, and Sinner is the favourite, Carlos Alcaraz second, Djokovic third, Zverev fourth, and Hurkacz has moved up into fifth. So I feel he moved a few places following the draw, being the other side. Potential quarterfinal against Djokovic. I've already said that I think he's got a good shot. I did speak to Hubie Hurkacz as well the other day at Boodles. If you want to go see that interview, check it out on the Patreon. It is live right now. Draper in sixth, just behind Hurkacz.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously on that side as well. Draper, he's been playing well on the grass. I think that he stands a good chance in this tournament. Just needs to keep it all together. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on British players when it comes to Wimbledon. Ask Andy Murray. He felt the full brunt of all the pressure from all those years. But because he was the Brit who sort of broke the curse of all of those years, maybe not so much pressure on Draper to do as well as Andy Murray back in the day. But I'm definitely expecting some good performances in the first few rounds from Jack Draper.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about British tennis, I've just seen on social media now, Raducanu rocking up, and she's wearing an England kit today on the grounds of Wimbledon. Of course, England are playing today. That should be interesting. It's all kicking off, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah.
We've got Wimbledon, the Euros, other sporting events happening too. It's a very busy time, but I'm probably more interested in Wimbledon than anything. I think the women's is super open. We did our draw preview the other day. Go check it out if you want to see who we have winning that one. And some people were a bit critical of having Sabalenka going out and not, well, I don't think it was early, but going out towards the second week, not making a final or a semi. And I think we've kind of been backed up a little bit by some of her comments. She said she's not even sure if she's going to be able to play. Injuries, not feeling fit at all, and it's touch and go match on match. Hopefully she can get better and that's not going to be a factor. She said there's not many people in the world who have this injury. I think she said she's the only tennis player to ever injure that muscle group. It's a very rare muscle group, so let's see how that one goes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, wishing her all the best because she adds something a bit extra to Wimbledon. A lot of drama in her matches. But we're here to speak about the men. And as we do with all of these draw previews, let's go through the past champions of Wimbledon. So here we go. And we know Carlos Alcaraz, it was a bit of a shock, I have to say, beating Novak Djokovic, who was in good form as well, in a final, on grass, in 5 sets. It's one of the things that it doesn't really seem to happen against Djokovic, that you beat him over a 5-set match and on grass. Even Roger Federer can't even claim that one. Djokovic managed to nick that one off of him in the final. It was an incredible performance, and I think you've said it a few times over the last week that he has the best grass court percentage for wins, Carlos Alcaraz, and has to still be considered despite a poor performance, I'd say, at Queen's, didn't retain his title.
I don't think it was that poor. I thought Draper was incredible, and I don't think you can read too much into his statistics on grass because he's not played that many matches. I mean, it looks good, but he's not played many. I think he's only lost a few times, maybe one or two times, three times
Exactly.
now, I'm not sure. But incredible player regardless. I think he's got really strong credentials to go far. I think his draw is easier than Sinner in the early stages. But the big one would be if we get that semi-final, and I can't really separate them. I think Sinner is marginal favourite, but it's going to be tough. Talking about Djokovic, he is going for number 8 to tie Roger Federer with 8 Wimbledon titles. He was close last year, like you said. He's
Yeah.
been dominating this tournament for many years now. And it's crazy to think the first time he won Wimbledon was in only 2011.
Yes, I mean, I was having a brief look down this list as well earlier, and you sort of see the dominance of Federer fade away a little bit there, because obviously from 2003 to 2007, Federer won 5 straight Wimbledons. Then it was the epic 2008 when Rafa Nadal finally won it. Then Roger won it again. Then Rafa won it again. And then Novak enters the fray in 2011. Roger got another one against Murray. That was the Olympic year, remember, in 2012. And then Murray famously beat him in straight sets at the Olympics, which was only, a month later, which was crazy to think that Murray couldn't win his first Grand Slam, but he could win the Olympic gold. And then, look, I mean, Djokovic just took over, didn't he? I mean, we got one Roger there against Cilic in 2017, but it's been all Novak apart from last year. And you had your prediction, which you've said it might have been a year early. You said last year, at the beginning of the year, that we would see no Djokovic or Nadal slam wins. And I think that maybe you did go 1 year too early, because this year looks like it could be this year rather than last year, because there hasn't been any so far. Is Djokovic going to change it at Wimbledon with an sort of recovering knee? Is that possible? I don't know.
I'll eat my hat. I'll eat my hat live on stream if Djokovic wins Wimbledon. I really don't see it happening. I don't see him now winning a slam again. Same for Nadal. Of course, Federer's retired. We're going to just see the fresh young players coming through and winning them now. Doesn't have to just be them, of course. Tsitsipas's, Medvedev's, Zverev's. You never know. They may be able to pick up a few too. But it really does feel like a Sinner Alcaraz era.
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
moving into.
Sinner, I mean, the others need to catch up, if I'm perfectly honest, because Daniel, I mean, he's lost some finals already. Zverev lost the final as well, a couple of them. They need to start working out now how to win those finals so that they can catch up and stay in contention with Sinner or Alcaraz. Or otherwise, I think they're going to run away, and it's going to be a big 2 on the men's tour in the coming years. We need to see somebody else really step up to the plate to start challenging. And maybe it's not even in the group of names that we see right now. Maybe there's someone new who's coming up from the juniors that we're going to see break out. That's always a possibility as well. But watch this space. I'm sure someone like a Moratoglu has something in the chamber that he's going to unleash on the world, or a Ferrero. You never know. There's a few academies out there with a few top players coming through. So I'm excited to see the future of tennis, and if anyone can challenge Sinner and Alcaraz moving forward.
Yeah, let's have a look at the qualifiers for Wimbledon on the men's. I don't know if you have them up at all, but I think it would be fascinating to go through them, because there is some pretty dangerous players on the men's in the qualifying.
Sure.
I don't feel like you can say the same for the women, but the men's, there is a few who I do like. The first one being Zizou Bergs, who looked really, really good in qualification. Beat Herbert in the second round, and Zverev, maybe not the best in the last one, but still, the way he did it was straightforward, and I think he is someone dangerous in the draw who you'd want to avoid. Lloyd Harris, someone who's very good on grass, big serve. You're not going to want to be put up against him in his prime, or when he's playing at his peak. I would consider him a top 20 player in the world, definitely top 30, and that is someone who's challenging. Lucas Puy, so much experience from him. He's been here many, many times before. I don't know how many years he's been playing now, but someone who has the ability to go through a few rounds.
Yeah.
Was there any you wanted to speak about?
Just I mean, I think we've spoken about quite a lot of the players that we actually like as well. I think Zizou Bergs, like you said, is the big standout for me. I think he's looked sensational. Quentin Alice, I mean, we've spoken about him in the past. He's just a dangerous...
Not for me. He's not part of mine. I would have Bergs, Harris, and right at the bottom, Kopriva, Djokovic's opponent.
Garin, I mean, someone who does play well. We watched him live at Wimbledon when we were there. I think he steps up sometimes at Wimbledon. So Garin, a little bit of a dangerous
You'll have the
player.
fans, won't he? The Chileans.
Yeah, exactly right. Someone I was surprised went through, Melangeli Alves in 5 sets against Cressy. That was a bit of a shocker to me. I didn't expect that one. And Elias Ymer, that's Jack Draper's first round match, I believe. So he's come through in straight sets. Other than that, Vic Kopriva, that's Djokovic's first match, so keep an eye out for him. Beating Gasquet, not an easy person to beat either, so I'm interested to see how these qualifiers get on, but definitely you wouldn't want to face Draper or Djokovic, I don't think, in these first round matches. So those two haven't had the best draws, but I mean, anything's a bonus really against those players, I think. Let's get stuck into the actual draw proper. If you are just new to the channel, make sure to download the TNNS app and join the Fantasy League Game to Love. And we're the one with the most on there. It's at the top. And then play along at home. We're going to be playing this Wimbledon fantasy bracket, and you can see if you can beat myself and JG.
Okay, right, let's get into it. Sinner to beat Hanfmann, for sure.
Yep.
Berrettini will beat Fuchs.
Yep.
Summit Nagel will beat Kuzmanovic.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that as well. I agree.
Greek Sport to beat Buster. Jarry to beat Shapovalov.
That's a tough first round match for Jarry. I might go for a bit of an upset here, straight off the bat.
You say upset. I don't know if it is.
Chapo's actually, I was surprised when I looked down the betting odds. You see, he's actually not as low as I thought it'd be. They've got him.
I think he might be favourite betting again in this match. I'm not sure how they play it.
Okay, I'm going to pop Chapo.
I don't know. Probably Jarry will be favourite. I reckon it'll be about 1.6, 1.7. Jarry.
Yeah, maybe.
It's close. I'll have Altmaier beating Ferry.
I'm going to go with Ferry, the Brit, on grass.
Mickelson Harris. Mickelson's been playing quite a few grass court events and playing quite well to a point.
I'm going to go Harris, though.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm 50-50 down the middle. I'm going to go for Mickelson.
I'm going to have Shelton to beat Bellucci.
Yeah.
Dimitrov to beat Lajovic.
Yeah. Garin to beat Shang.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same.
Wawrinka
to
sweep up the broom.
Love it.
Monfils to win there.
To beat Mallory.
Zizhen Zhang.
Yep. He's been playing well on grass.
Marazan, such a tough one. It's so unfortunate, really, for both of these players that they're facing each other first round. Both could have a run if it wasn't. Marazan fancies his chances on the grass.
Not for me. Struff for me. I think he's very good on grass. He's one of Alcaraz's only defeats, isn't it, on grass at Wimbledon. So coming down, Gaston or Muller. I mean, I'll go Gaston.
I'll go Muller.
Medvedev.
I don't quite like Gaston anymore. I don't think he's that good at all.
It's not. It gets a bit under my skin, to be honest. Alcaraz, definitely.
He's not gone in the right direction. He's getting worse for me.
I have
off the beating Vukic.
Tough match.
I think Vukic, could he be favourite with the bookies?
I mean, Offner's just been to a final, Vukic to a semi-final, so...
They're both good players. Another really tough draw. One of them ones where if they weren't playing each other first round, either of them could have gone very far. I'll have Coric beating Melangini Alves. Arnaldi knocking out TFO.
Yes, definitely. Definitely for me.
Nakashima to beat Baez. Thompson to beat Kotov.
Yep.
Brody to beat Van der Zandsler. He's had injury problems, though.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Van der Zandsler.
Shevchenko, Humbert.
Just spoke to Shevchenko. He's got a losing head-to-head against Humbert. But yeah, I think Humbert's too good. Sorry, Shevchenko.
I don't think he really believed he can beat him.
No, I don't think so either. Tommy Paul to beat Martinez. I'm going to go Max Purcell to beat Virtanen.
Yeah.
Bergs to beat Cazot.
Yeah.
Bublik to beat Mensik.
Someone else you spoke to.
Yeah, but Mensik, I don't believe he's ever played Wimbledon before, so I think this Bublik
Must
was
have
in
been
the
the juniors, though.
fourth round last year from Bublik. He's pretty strong on grass if he serves well. Sonego to beat Navone.
I'm going to have Navone beating Sonego.
It's an
I'll go
unknown.
Agut to beat Martara.
Yep.
Quetford to beat Fanini.
I'm going to go Fanini.
No, Quetford, I've said he's really good on grass. Probably his best surface. Rude to beat Bolt.
Yeah.
Rublev to beat Komisana.
Yeah.
Walton to beat Correa.
Don't really know on this one. I know because you see
Correa's
the Aussie
terrible
flag.
at grass.
I'll just go against you. That's all I'm going to do there.
Darderi.
Darderi.
Darderi winning. Massetti.
Yep.
Korda beating Fakina. I've not seen Fakina on grass. I don't know what he's like.
Yeah, I mean, not that great, I don't think.
Korda is pretty good. Borges to beat Nishioka.
It's a tough one, that.
Savori to beat McDonald.
Yes, I would go with that.
You're copying me a lot today, Ben.
I know,
Tsitsipas
but
to beat Daniel.
I think that some of these ones I quite like the picks. I don't would like to admit it, but yeah. It's Fritz to beat O'Connell, yeah.
Nishikori to beat Rinderknecht.
This one's tough. I mean, I'm going to go Rinderknecht. I think he's got a big serve, so that's the only reason.
Caboli to win.
I'm going to have
Tabio to beat Evans. That's a really good match. So Tabio's now won his second title of 2024. On the grass, this one looked brilliant. And last time he looked really good, just before Roland Garros. He went out early, so I don't know if that is a sign that maybe Dan Evans will beat him.
I don't know.
Because what happened at Roland Garros? He was brilliant before that, won a title, and then just went out. You had him as your dark horse. I think you had him in the semis or something ridiculous, didn't you, Ben?
Yeah, probably something ridiculous like that. I think that he's looked so good in Mallorca. I think that he hasn't had to put too much energy in.
He looked so good before Roland Garros.
It's true. He did look so good before Roland Garros. I'm going to stick with it. I like Tabilo, so I'm going to go with him.
Who did he lose to? So, at Roland Garros, he lost to Zizou Bergs in the first round.
Tough, though.
After going very far and getting to the semi-final of Rome, losing to Zverev in 3 tight sets.
Exactly.
And in the first set against Zverev, he beat him 6-1. So he was absolutely flying ahead of Roland Garros, then lost to Zizou Bergs opening round. Queens, he got to the final and lost to Tommy Paul. Was that the final? No, round of 16 and lost to Tommy Paul. But we know how well Tommy Paul then went on and did.
Yep.
Mallorca, he won the whole thing, beating some top players. Shevchenko, Mensik, Monfils, Offner. I don't know. It's a tough one, this. Because Dan Evans for me is like a Zizou Bergs of the last, but I'm going to be going for Tabio anyway.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think just form. Dan Evans, not really seen much of him. Norrie to beat Acosta. So we get a Draper-Norrie second round match. I mean, that's not ideal for Jack Draper.
Giron, Zverev, Hurkacz, Fees, Mahatch, unfortunately for Murray.
Yes,
I don't think Murray
agree.
will get a set, by the way.
Sadly, yeah.
Cerundolo to beat Safulin.
Agreed. I'm going to go Kokkinakis to knock out Felix.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go Puy.
Yes.
Billy Harris or Minar. I'm going to go Minar.
Yeah. I'm going Billy. Come on, the Billy.
No.
Minar always wrecks my brackets. I always
Minar
go
will
against him. Yeah, he's a solid player.
Dimonor, Holgeruna.
Yep.
Saberwild.
I'm going with Jubb.
Job is the favourite.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing well. So I'm going to go with him.
Crazy. Saberwild is a better player.
Eubanks.
Eubanks to beat Halis.
Go on, Eubanks.
You can get him at good odds, by the way, Eubanks. 1.8 to beat Halis.
That's good.
I'll have Hachanov beating Karatsev. Nardi beating Echeverry. Poprin. Big up Poprin, the boy. Loved speaking to him the other day. What a legend.
Great.
One of my favourite tennis players now. I'm going to have him beating Montero. Morris Kainos beating Fernley. And Djokovic beating Kopriva.
Yes.
And on Djokovic Kopriva, it will be straight sets. I think the first one will be a tie break.
Okay. Well, just a little bit of a wobbly first set. Djokovic like
He's
ooh,
down
a
a
bit
break early and then just
laboured around the court a bit, slips a few times. Crowd go ooh. And now here
okay,
we
right
go.
at the top. Sinner to beat Berrettini. I think he will be able to beat him.
Yes,
But
I
it could be
believe so.
tight.
Greek
Sport
sport.
to beat Nagel. Jarry
Agreed.
to beat Altmaier.
Chapeau. Shelton to beat Harris. Could be close though.
Shelton Mickelson. I love
Shelton's not
Shelton.
filled me with much confidence, to be honest. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm surprised you've gone there. I'd have gone Lloyd Harris to beat him, but I think Shelton will beat Mickelson. Weird how it works sometimes. I'll have
Grigor.
Dimitrov beating Garim. Monfils
Monfils.
beating Wawrinka.
Come on, Gale.
Struff to win
Yep.
here.
That's
Medvedev.
Close one though, and yeah, I'll have Medvedev as well.
Alcaraz to beat Offner.
Yeah. Arnaldi to beat Chorich. I'm gonna go with her.
Yeah, me too. Then Thompson to beat Nakashima.
Yeah.
Humbert to beat Brody.
Yeah, to beat Van der Zandstrup.
Tommy Paul to beat Purcell.
Tough match, actually, that one. But yeah, I'll go with the same.
I'm going to have Zizou Bergs knocking out Bublik.
Yeah, not mad at that at all. I think Bergs is going to prove himself.
Very
at this
similar,
one.
your bracket to mine this time.
I think it's
A
going to
Goot to beat
change.
Navone.
soon. I'm going to have Sonego to beat Agut.
So you're changing it now.
And I want to.
Rude to beat Quepfer.
This is tough. I mean, Casper Ruud, I'm not even sure. That first round against Bolt, he may struggle, but I'm going to put him through. Might be a 5-setter.
Okay,
Rublev.
Rublev to beat Walton.
Musetti.
to beat Darderi. Korda to beat Borges. Tsitsipas to beat
Yep.
Rusevori.
Yep.
Fritz to beat Nishikori.
Yep.
Tabio to beat Caboli. I think that's easier, that match for Tabio, than the first one. If he gets through Evans, he may be all right for a few rounds.
I've got Hijikata. Yeah, I think he'll be able to beat Hijikata. Draper
to beat Norrie.
Yep.
Zverev to beat Giron. Hurkacz to beat Fees, of course.
Yes. I mean, that's a tough match as well. I didn't realise you'd have him second round.
I'm going to have Mahatch to beat
No.
Cerundolo.
Not for me. I liked Cerundolo when I watched him
What, on
at
grass?
Wimbledon. Do you not remember him against Rafa? He looked amazing on centre court.
Yeah,
Took a set.
Mahatch can do it. Pui to beat Kokkinakis.
Nah, I'm going to have Thanasi going through. Up the Aussie.
Dimonor to beat Minar.
Aussie v Aussie in the next round for me.
Runa to beat Seberfield.
Yeah, Runa to beat Jubb. And Eubanks to beat Hachanov. I mean, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
It's
go on.
big
I'll go
big
Eubanks.
serving match, that one.
Yeah, he's been terrible, by the way, Hubank, since Wimbledon last year.
Well,
Poprin to beat Nardi. Djokovic to beat Morokanas. So we get
Yeah.
the Poprin Djokovic
that's
match.
it. Here we go. There it is.
Isn't it good that we got to speak to him now as well?
Yeah, oh, it's amazing. If you want to go and
Let's hope we get that match.
if you want to see that interview as well, go on the Patreon. That interview is on there as well, talking about Djokovic and his potential against him. That's a really interesting interview, so go check that out. Sinner versus Griekspoor, third round match. He's played him already and beaten him, but it was over 3 sets. I think Sinner's going to do him again.
Really tough one, that one. This Berrettini Greek sport start, I don't like at all for Sinner. I hope he can get through it.
Any sets dropped, do you think, coming into the 4th round?
I think so. I think, yeah. I'll be shocked. I'll be really, really shocked if he gets through to like the semis without dropping sets along the way. I think he's going to drop a few. Could be dropping a set every round.
I think he might surprise a few people.
Mate, I don't see him going through easily. He's got some tough opponents. Dimitrov, Monfils, I'll have Dimitrov win him. I'll go Struff, Medvedev. I mean,
did we have
I'm going to go Medvedev.
Who did you have above? I had Chapeau Shelton.
Jarry, I've got.
Oh, you got Jarry Sinner. Okay, I've got Chapeau going through there. I've got Dimitrov beating Monfils. Struff Medvedev.
I've already done that. I've done Medvedev.
I'm going to go Jan-Lennard Struff to knock out Daniil Medvedev.
Okay.
Not mad at that.
Alcaraz to beat Arnaldi.
Yep.
Thompson and Burr. I'll have Thompson.
I'm going to go Humbert.
Paul to beat Zizou Bergs.
Yep, I would agree.
Agut to beat Rude. Batista Agut rolling back the years.
For me, I think Sonego could beat him as well. I'm going to stick with Casper Ruud, but I don't think he's going to go any further. I think he'll be going out to Tommy Paul next round.
Okay.
I'm going to have...
Rublev Musetti. I'm going to have Musetti knocking out Rublev.
It's a really tough one, this one. Musetti's been in the
It's a
better
good match.
form.
Good match. I'm going for definitely Lorenzo. I hope he wins
Rublev,
as well.
last year's quarter-finalist at Wimbledon, don't forget. So
He's
he had
having
a fight.
torrid few months, though, man.
Musetti's been looking really good.
Mate, who did Rublev lose to the other day on grass?
Can't remember off the top of my head.
Giron. He lost to Marcus Giron
Well,
at
Giron's-
Halle.
Yeah, I mean, Giron's a very good grass court player. So
Is he?
there's no shame in that. Yeah. He's actually really good.
How's he so good? Who's he beaten then?
Mate, I watched him playing. He's literally...
He's not that good, mate. He lost to Nishioka at Eastbourne.
Mate, he's actually a good player on grass, I'm telling you. I just
He
from
lost to
watching him
Draper.
play.
He took a set off Draper.
I know, it was a close
He
match.
beat
That was
Andy
the match I
Murray.
watched. Well, say no more.
Is that why? Because he beat Murray.
I'm going to stick with Rublev on this occasion, but it's a really tough one. I think it's 50-50, that match.
I'm going to have Tsitsipas knocking out Korda.
I'm not. I'm going to have Korda knocking out Tsitsipas. He's going to get the Boodle's revenge over him. It was a very close match at Boodle's.
I'm going to have Tabio knocking out Fritz.
Not for me. He's just won a
I
title.
can't believe I've done everything. Yeah, it's ridiculous, really.
Fritz has just won a title, and that was in Eastbourne.
So's Tabio.
Yeah, he's just won a title. That's the battle of the title. Yeah, but Fritz is more well-tested on the Wimbledon turf than Tabio.
More well-tested. Don't think so.
You don't think so? What? Someone who's been to the quarterfinals of Wimbledon before is not more well-tested?
I think Fritz is hot and cold.
Oh.
Fritz lost to Nadal when Nadal was badly injured at Wimbledon. He lost to Djokovic when Djokovic was badly injured at the Australian Open, I think, one time.
He's all improving, though.
After seeing them instances of Taylor Fritz, I thought... I mean, Djokovic couldn't walk on run to side on one of them, and Nadal was being told by his whole box, get off the court right now, and Fritz still lost. From seeing that, it just told me everything I need to know about Taylor Fritz. You will not see Taylor Fritz ever win a Grand Slam.
So Tabilo is definitely on the level of Djokovic and Nadal, so that's why I can see he's going out to him. Good. That's good analogy there.
I have Draper beating Zverev.
Yes, come on, Jack. Get him out of there.
And then everyone's going to be so excited because we're going to have the Euros final of England in. Jack Draper going through Wimbledon. Is it going to be the England double? England win the Euros, Draper wins the tennis.
Draper
Hurkacz,
plays.
Mahatch.
Well, how about this? Draper plays in an England top at Wimbledon. Would they allow that? It's white.
Yeah, on the practice courts.
Okay. Hurkacz to beat Salundalo.
Dimonor,
Yep.
Holgaruna, Djokovic. Djokovic has got buys for me until the 4th.
Oh, but what against Popper in a bye? That's just so mean. I mean, not a set taken from Popper.
No.
Can't believe your new best mate, and that's what you just done to him.
I
Thrown
don't
him
think
right
he
under
really
the
believes
bus.
it.
I think he
I
does.
asked him and he didn't say he can't beat him.
Oh, right.
He didn't say that, by the way, but you need to check out the interview if you want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, hear the actual words. Right, Sinner to beat
Sinner to beat
Shapo.
Jarry.
Struff to beat Dimitrov.
Dimitrov to beat Medvedev. Alcaraz to beat Thompson. Paul
beat
to beat
Humbert.
Agut.
Yep, Paul to beat Rude.
Musetti Tsitsipas. I'll have Tsitsipas beating Musetti.
I'm going to have Rublev beating Korda.
Draper to beat Tabio.
And I'll have Fritz beating Jack Draper. Sorry, Jack.
I've got Jack going quite far here. Hurkacz Dimonor. I'd never really
Tough.
thought about this one, actually.
It's a bit of a like a...
Because potentially that's one of the ones what could ruin or really help Djokovic. Because if Hurkacz beats Dimonor, I don't think Dimonor will beat Djokovic. But you never know.
What's the head-to-head between those two? 1-1 as well. I mean, that's...
Maybe De Minaur has actually a better shot of beating Djokovic than Hurkacz.
Never played on grass. I'm going to go in Hurkacz, though. The big man.
I think 5 sets, Hurkacz, De Minaur.
4
and I'm going to
sets.
have Hubie Hurkacz.
4 sets in Hurkacz.
Rune Djokovic.
Ooh, I mean, that's a one that I didn't realise we could really have. Holger Rune on the
Rune
grass.
will be motivated as well.
I mean,
Rune lost to Thompson at Queen's.
Who did he lose to last year at Wimbledon, Holger Rune? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Where did he go to? Quarterfinals last year. I mean, he's not that
Who's into
bad. That's what I'm trying to just find out now. Alcaraz in straight sets. I mean, he was pretty good up until that point,
but he
wasn't
did beat Dimitrov in the round before.
Beat Fokina as well. It was 5 sets against Fokina.
I think Djokovic will beat Rune.
Yeah, I'm going to be going with it as well. I think he will as well. But it's a tough match, though. I feel that could be a 5-set match that Djokovic gets through. And there's a little slip on the court from Djokovic at one point where he's like, ooh, and the crowd go, oh, no. There's redone the injury. There's the medical timeout. Djokovic has to, get through that match in 5, but it's a bit of a struggle.
Into the quarterfinals, Sinner, Dimitrov. I'll have
Sinner versus Struff. And we saw it at Halle, and I think it's the same again, but I think he does drop at least a set to Jan-Lennard Struff in this.
Yeah. I'll have Sinner beating Dimitrov. I'll have Alcaraz beating Tommy Paul.
I'm having the same, yep. Carlos Alcaraz over a 5-set match, I believe, will have too much for Tommy Paul.
We've got a very similar bracket here, Ben. Tsitsipas Draper.
I've got Rublev Fritz. This is the big difference in our brackets right now. There's this section. And I'm going for Taylor Fritz to beat Andrei Rublev.
I'm going to have Tsitsipas.
And Rublev's still not making a semi-final.
So why didn't you put Taylor Fritz in your top 5 the other day?
I did.
Oh, where was he?
4.
Oh, you put him, ahead of Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. No, I remember now because you were saying he's going to get the number 1 place back. You was going with the Americans, wasn't you?
Yeah, I had Paul at 5, Fritz at 4.
Okay.
So, sad for Rublev.
I'll have Tsitsipas to beat Draper. Maybe I should have put him in there.
Yeah, maybe. And then, at the bottom, Djokovic, Hurkacz. They face each other again. We've got the finalist from Halle in great form. It's his opportunity. We've spoken to him. Djokovic has just been run ragged by Holger Rune. They don't even know if he's going to play this match after his fall in the round of 16. And I think he wins a set. But I think Hubert Hurkacz knocks out Novak Djokovic in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just don't see Djokovic beating him. I really don't. I think he's going to have too much for him this year. And I'm going to have Hubert Hurkacz knocking out Djokovic.
And one thing we forgot to mention as well, JG. When we spoke to Aslan Karatsev before the Australian Open, he went all the way to the semi-finals. When we went and played with Sebastian Ofner, he was 120 in the world. He's now inside the top 50 and getting to the finals of ATP tournaments. Hubert Hurkacz needs the GTL effect right now. And if any tournaments it's going to happen, it's going to be this one. So that's another reason to put Hurkacz a bit deeper in your bracket, I think.
There we go. You heard it there from Ben. We're going to wish Hurkacz all the way through. On that basis, we'll start with that one first. I think Tsitsipas, I don't know how he's got there for me, really. I didn't think I was going to have him there. He wasn't in my top 5. But I'm going to have Hubie Hurkacz defeating him and getting all the way to the final. And at the top, it's just so tough. Sinner, Alcaraz.
I've got the same. I've got Hurkacz beating Taylor Fritz. I think it will be in 4 sets. And he will make the final of Wimbledon, Hubert Hurkacz.
Then the Sinner, Alcaraz one's so tough.
I think how many people...
Alcaraz has got a lot easier draw to get there. He's got more guarantees of making the semi. But if we do see it, I am going to just go marginally with Jannik Sinner to defeat Carlos Alcaraz and set up the final of the doubles. The doubles pairing, the great friends, Jannik Sinner, Hubie Hurkacz, another final again.
And I think this semi-final, we always get an epic match. And people say it's the final before the final a lot of the time now. I think it goes 5 sets again between these two. And it's an absolute epic one. And I think Jannik Sinner edges Carlos Alcaraz once more. And yeah, at Wimbledon, I think the grass court will just be the difference. Like him just having that extra bit on the serve and having just those ground shots that are just slightly more effective. That will help him through to the final. And like you said, the doubles pairing, we saw it in Halle. We're getting it again. I've got the same final. But who do you have winning it?
Dread. It fills me with dread that you got the same final as me. It's so sad when that happens because it's never going to happen.
So we got
Whenever we have the same
Djokovic,
one, it's
right?
ruined. I can't believe you've done it. I had this in my mind. I'm so disappointed you've followed me on this route.
I'm not really. It's just that I had it in my own mind as well. Sometimes when
that's the problem. We spend too long together. I'm going to be having Sinner to defeat Hurkacz in the final, though. I don't think that will be as tough as the semi.
I mean, if you watched our last video, you saw who we had as our number 1 pick, and you saw who we had as our number 3 pick. We both had the same in our top 5. Yeah. So it only makes sense. We sort of alluded to it in that last video.
Yeah.
And I haven't changed my tune on it. People are going to say, Djokovic is definitely, he should be further. How can you, Hurkacz can't be. I still don't think that Novak Djokovic is fully fit. And that's my reasoning behind not putting him that far. I know that people are going to say, yeah, but he'll get better during the tournament. I don't know that. That's not a given, is it? He's not shown me anything this year to prove that. So prove me wrong, Djokovic. And I'm hoping if Djokovic gets through Hurkacz, I hope he wins the whole thing. I would love to see Djokovic equal Federer's record. But I think Jannik Sinner, I think it's his this year. I'm going with the Italian.
In terms of dark horse, it's very obvious who that is. It's Jack Draper across the board. I think he's got a good shot of going really far. I'd love to see him go on and win it.
Yeah,
it's not
please.
That impossible. I think he's got a nice draw to help him out. He's been playing okay in the build-up, so he's going to be the dark horse. And join us for all of the Wimbledon coverage. It should be a good one. We've both gone for pretty much an identical bracket, so we're on the same page for Wimbledon. Let us know if you're on the same page with us, or are we not giving Djokovic enough credit and not giving him enough chances to go far at Wimbledon. Very surprised in Ben, of course, considering he's a big Djokovic fan.
I'm a realist fan, but I'm all for it. I'll be cheering him on, and I don't care if my bracket fails, to be honest, because if Djokovic gets number 8, it's a win-win for me.
I do care about my bracket, and I hope I succeed. See you soon.